you telling the sponge that you love the sponge? It does doing the dishes.
Well done, Emma. Let's go for a
It's better than dirt.
Exactly. Easy. Super. Well done.
Hey!
There you go. Joking. Just have all of it. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sharon, and if this is your first time here, I hope that you stay with me and consider subscribing to this channel and also hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. So today I just want to do a quick video just encouraging stay-at-home moms, homemakers out there, and any mums in general, to be honest. I know a lot of us do get to a point where you just feel like worn out, you feel tired, you feel resentful, and you start thinking, did I do the right thing being a stay-at-home mom? Did I do the right thing leaving my job? Am I doing the right thing in raising my children and doing everything for my family, and me not pursuing the things that I want to do? And I want to encourage you to say that yes, you are the best person to be doing this role. Don't let social media make you feel like you're missing out. You've been blessed with these children, and I'm not saying that working is bad, but I'm just saying for those that have chose to stay at home, to be that mother and to not miss out on the children's milestones. And that was one of the reasons why I stayed at home. I didn't want to miss any milestones of my children. I wanted to be the one that looks after them. I wanted to be the one that takes them to school, brings them back from school. You hear a lot of weird stories. I didn't want to take my children to a childminder or nursery too young. And I know some people have to because they have got careers already. I think for me, the transition was easy because one, that's what my heart always wanted to do. And my husband was supportive of that as well. So that it was seamless. Sometimes, being a stay-at-home mom can be exhausting. It is exhausting if you don't manage your time well. It's also overwhelming. It feels lonely. It's just an encouragement for those women that feel, resentful, feel alone. This is one thing that I had to tell myself, because I went through a stage where I was just feeling resentful, because I was saying to my husband, you're so lucky, you get to go to work, you get to have conversation with adults, you get your break when you needed to, and no one disturbs you when you're having food, whereas me, if I want to have a little sit down and have a cup of tea with cake or something, my children are always climbing up on me. I don't have that break. And even when he comes back home, it's still mummy, mummy, mummy. And I had to come to a place where I made peace with that, because if your children want you, if they're happy to be around you, that is a blessing. I was reminded by the Holy Spirit that, your children that you're complaining about, your marriage and everything, you are moaning and grumbling. But these are the things you prayed for. There was a time you were praying for children where, I had 2 ectopic pregnancies before Aurora, and then I had 2 miscarriages before Araya. So, and I was praying to God. I was praying that I really want another child. I was praying for these children before they were born. So now they're here. We sometimes catch ourselves grumbling and moaning because, life can be hard when you don't have the help, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're not sleeping enough and all of that. It can get hard. And obviously sometimes external things that happen kind of affect the way the way you parent and how you look after the home and how you look after yourself. So everything just seems like everything just becomes so magnified. You just start grumbling and being resentful. I got checked by the Holy Spirit, and I remember this verse where it says, whatever you do, do it as unto the Lord. So everything we do, being a mom or wife, just everything we do in your job, and when you're walking out in the road, whatever you do, when you're talking to someone, talk to them as a service unto the Lord. And the way you speak to your children, the way you speak to your husband, the way you look after your home, do it as unto the Lord, because those things we have these things because of God's grace. We wake up every morning because of God's grace, and we have to be thankful. And the moment we start walking in gratitude and thankfulness, things become less harder. The negatives aren't amplified when you start focusing on the great things that you do have. So that was the verse that's the verse I'm standing on, that I keep standing on, that whatever I'm doing and doing it, I do it as I'm doing it unto the Lord. And also just making sure that one thing that I have done actually as well is I have scaled down my social media. I think I spoke about this in another video. I don't go on social media just like doom scrolling, because that takes away a lot of time. That takes away a lot of your creativity as well. If you're someone that does content creating, which a lot of stay-at-home moms do, they showcase what they do in a day-to-day basis, and that helps other people. So if you are a content creator, that's also a stay-at-home mom, that takes away your creativity of what you want to do, of what you want to create, because then you start comparing yourself to other content creators, and then you start feeling like you're not good enough, and then you don't want to content create because you start feeling like, oh, whatever I'm going to put out is not as good as so and so. So that's one thing I've kind of stopped now. With the time that you could be that you're scrolling, you could be either making the dinner, you could be cleaning up, you could be editing a video, when you start feeling resentful. And just know that when you start feeling like that, you're not alone. And I encourage you to also speak to somebody, speak to your close friends about how you're feeling. But this is not like a open call to start bashing your family, bashing people, but just talk about how you're feeling, about where you are. Because I think a lot of people, when stay-at-home moms say, oh, I'm finding it really hard, and people just say, well, those are your children, you need to get on with it. It is a job, and we don't really get a break, which is fine, everyone knows that. But at your role at work, even though you apply for this job, you've wanted this job for a while, you apply for it, you get it, you're happy, there will come times where you feel a bit overwhelmed, you feel overworked, you feel tired for whatever reason, whether it's something external or whether it's something in the role. You are going to feel that way. And there's no exception when it comes to a stay-at-home mother, that they may have those days, because it's only one mom, and it gets a lot. But I think the key as well for stay-at-home moms is possibly you need to get like a little schedule that helps you along the day, just so that you tick things off. Because I find that when I started doing that, so for instance, when I make sure that I do the dishes and clean the house at night before everyone goes, after everyone's gone to bed, and when I wake up to a clean home, that just sets off the tone for the rest of the day. Then I know that during the day, I don't really have to worry about cleaning too much. I can just focus on, having fun with the children and doing other things that I want to do. But mainly, obviously, I can spend more time with the children. Whereas when the house is a mess, your mind is constantly, oh my goodness, it's messy, I need to clean that, I need to do that, and you're not really focused or in the moment with your children. So that's what I'm trying to still do, trying to find a proper routine that I can stick to. And I'm actually in the process of decluttering my home, because sometimes when you have too much things, it's harder to clean around the house. The less you have, the easier it is to clean. And for me, I am quite minimal. I don't like too many things. I don't like having too many trinkets around, like ornaments on the wall or ornaments on the tables. I don't like that. I have to have it clear. So that's what I'm in the process of doing. I'm in the process of kind of decluttering, so that I can just have so it's easier for me to clean around in the day. And I want to try and start encouraging my daughters as well to start cleaning up as well, helping me around the house, just to teach them and learn for when they get older. Don't be hard on yourself, take it easy, but just make a routine for yourself. And also don't be resentful of your husband, because your husband is also doing a lot. He is busy at work, especially if he's got a manual job. And I find like sometimes you feel like, oh, you can just come back home and you can just put your feet up, but I'm still running around like a headless chicken after the kids, But if you think about it, for my husband, he wakes up early, very early, before we even get up, and he's out. He wakes up and it's still dark while he goes out to work, and then when he comes back, it's dark, it's winter, it's depressing. And when he comes back home, he just wants to put his feet up, which I totally understand, and I want him to do that. And that's one thing I'm trying to kind of like just let him have his time and let him relax. But one thing I do always say is like, as long as the bins are taken out for me, please, because we live right at the top floor, and sometimes when I carry things too much, it affects my hernia and stuff after the childbirth. So he takes the bins out, and he does a kid's bed like baths and all his bedtime, because I feel like men also need to spend time with the children so that they can bond as well, because they don't see them the whole day. And that's another thing. I don't like the way this whole system is set up, but it is what it is. So he loves to, have that time that they bond around and they splash around in the bath, and he tells his Aurora bedtime stories at night while I put Araya to sleep because she's still breastfeeding. So we've got that little routine at night, which works pretty well. So maybe find a routine that works for you in your home where you can get like your husband involved at night, if he can. But just if not, then just find a way that works for you, but don't make it too overwhelming for yourself that, you have to make your house super Instagram worthy where it's like proper pristine and everything. If you can do that, perfect. But if not, just make the house decent and clean. I'm on this journey where I just want to, serve my family well. So, when they go out, they know that when they come back home, they want to come back home. I want my family I want to set the tone in the home where my family wants to be home, where they love being home, where if people come here, they love being here as well. I'm just on this journey where I am just asking God to just make me this Proverbs 31 wife. Not just saying it, but actually like walking and living it, Everyone can say, oh, I'm a Proverbs 31 wife, but are you really living it? And I want to really live it. And because it's something I've always wanted, even when I was younger, I've always valued it. I've always watched these, but I used to watch like kind of Amish videos, or like people that used to kind of leave everything and go and live in like a remote forest with just them and their family, and they're growing vegetables, and the kids play in the river. I don't know, I really visualize that, and I love that. I don't know why I love that simplicity of life, and that's what I love about being a stay-at-home mom, because it's just simple. It's a simple way of living. You are nurturing your children, you're caring for your family, and just loving on them, without the whole extra rah-rah of the workplace, corporate place that just brings extra stress on me. So that's just started. I've just gone on a little tangent then, but when you feel resentful, just remember that whatever you're doing, do it as unto the Lord. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, and I hope that video brings encouragement. And like I said, I'll put some verses in the bottom for just to encourage you in this walk as a stay-at-home mom. And you're not going to be 100% perfect when you first start, but just keep going, and also watch some other videos, reach out to some other women as well, and talk. And another thing actually, as a stay-at-home mom, what I'm starting to do, ensure that you go out for a coffee with one friend, whether it's once a week, whether twice a week, or even if you go to each other's homes. But I advise maybe just leaving the house, just to break the day up of just being at home. Go out somewhere, go for a walk, go for a tea, for a coffee, something. It doesn't have to be extravagant, but just get out of the house with a friend and do something. And even better, if your husband is willing, ask him to look after the children so that you can just go out for like 2-3 hours by yourself with a friend. And honestly, it does a world of good. I did that recently. I went out with a friend and had some food, just the two of us, and we had a talk. We're just talking about Bible, just girly time. And it was very enriching. It was I really needed it. And like, when I came back, I felt more rejuvenated. Yeah, don't neglect friends as well. And obviously make sure that those friends that you're hanging out with, your husband loves your friends, because then you don't want to cause any friction if your husband is not really into your friends, and then you're just like, I'm still going to go whether you like it or not. It's my friend. But if your husband has an issue with your friend, then, talk about why he has an issue, and then just